Welcome to Every LA Talks with Los Angeles real estate agent Matthias Baker Mazzucci.
All right. Now, if you're a landlord in Los Angeles and you're thinking about becoming a real estate investor, you got to listen to this. Today, I'm talking to Tyler, who is an expert in triple nets. So the first thing I want to do is define what is a triple net. Tyler, tell us.
It's a great question. A triple net is one of the most passive forms of real estate investment. You get the three N's, and that means the tenant, not the landlord. Your tenant is responsible for paying taxes, insurance, and maintenance. You are just getting a check in the mail each month as their landlord.
Okay, so why are they called a triple net? Like they are, what is it? Like, help me understand. They are a lease. You're buying land which has a lease. I know we'll get into the nitty gritty further on, but just for now, just for kind of like giving a broader definition, what exactly, why is the name triple net, and what exactly am I buying? I'm buying the land, right?
Yeah, I mean, you in theory are buying the land and the building, right? In most cases, in your simplest of triple nets, and we'll do an example, right? Something that people can understand when you're listening is like a Walgreens, for example. Okay. Everyone knows the company Walgreens. They've had their ups, they've had their downs, but you can buy as an individual a Walgreens property. You own the land, you own the Walgreens building, and you're their landlord. So what that means is you're going to pay the purchase price for the property, and Walgreens is going to be your tenant, and they're going to be responsible for everything. And they're going to send you a rent payment each month per the lease. Each lease is different. Some leases will have limited landlord responsibilities, but the absolute triple net lease means that you as a landlord have no obligations for any sort of payment for the roof, the structure, foundation, parking lot. You're not dealing with any of that. You're getting a rent check every month for the same amount.
So you mean to say that if their toilet's clogged, they're not going to call me in the middle of the night that the toilets are clogged and I got to go visit the store? None of that is going to happen?
No, you're not dealing with individuals as tenants, right? These are not your apartment tenants where if they have their toilet overflow at midnight, they're calling you and asking for a replacement, right? If there's an issue with, a McDonald's property that you own and the fry cook or something goes wrong in the kitchen, they're not calling. You are never going to have to deal with any of the responsibilities of actually managing the business or dealing with an issue at the property. That's what their staff does. And it's designed for the tenant to have full control of their business and for you to stay out of their hair, right? Because you or I do not know how to operate a Walgreens business or McDonald's business or a Home Depot, right? We're the landlord, and that is the extent of our responsibility and role.
That makes perfect sense. Now, where are the terms defined? Are the terms defined in a lease? So when I'm buying a triple net, with the terms of the responsibility shared between the landlord, in my case, the landowner and building owner, and the tenant, are these going to be defined prior to me committing to the purchase? Or is this something that I buy and then I got to figure out with Walgreens how we're going to handle this?
It's a great question, Matthias. I think it's one of the most important things when you're buying one of these triple nets, and why you want to work with a professional in the space is because much like when you're buying a home, you've got an escrow period and you've got a chance to do your due diligence.
Right.
You want to inspect the building. The difference in triple nets is your due diligence for an escrow consists of much more than just an inspection of the property. You also have an opportunity to look at the lease, if you can see the tenant financials, the store sales. You want to look at, the environmental reports to make sure the property is clean from any contamination. You're doing that all up front during the due diligence. And so you can physically actually read or have an attorney read the lease, which will clearly lay out, here's the rent, here's how long the lease is, here's how many option periods are at the end of the lease. And most importantly, here's what you are responsible for as a landlord. Oftentimes nothing, but some you will have responsibilities. So very important to look out for that.
Okay, very good. So now let's say, I'm a Los Angeles landlord, and I'm old school. I've always owned what I can touch. A couple of buildings up the street, something else over there. So it seems like a little scary to go from your typical residential, you rent it. It's pretty straightforward. And another thing that I think may cause hesitation from people is what's the entry level. You talk about Walgreens, you talk about McDonald's. I mean, are we talking about hundreds of millions? Like here, I'm selling it, imagine like somebody that is selling like a fourplex in LA. It's only worth $2 million. It's on the west side. It's a $2 million, $2.5 million property, and it's all equity. I mean, is it a problem? Where's the entry level? Can I buy a triple net for $2 million?
It's a great question. And the real answer is, I mean, triple net prices vary so vastly depending on location, depending on tenant, lease, rent. I mean, for example, I'm selling a Dollar General right now, a company that most people know, a discount dollar retailer. This property is in Oklahoma, and we're selling it for $400,000. So
wow,
less than $500,000, triple net deal where you're making on this one about a 7.5% return on your money.
I love this.
On the flip side, there are other properties. If you're selling a mega mansion and you have $50 million to spend, you can buy a Lowe's or a Home Depot or a Target, some of those higher ticket items that trade between 30 and $60 million. So the entry level is very low, but it can go as high as you can imagine.
Very nice. Thank you very much for sharing. All right, this is a great intro to triple net. If you're interested, please like and subscribe and reach out to us because we're here to help. And now I'm going to try my new sign-off tagline. If you're buying or selling in LA, we are just a call away. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I love it.
All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Thank you for watching. To find out more, visit everyla.com.